All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. Hope everybody out there had a very Merry Christmas. We got New Year's coming up next week, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into, our games from this past week, and we're gonna give y'all some fresh predictions.
Yeah, we're getting to the end of NFL. It's seems like yesterday we were just talking about, we couldn't wait for the season to start. Now we're closing in on the end.
Yeah,
Um, Very big slate last week and this week. A bunch of games. Thursday we had the Broncos and the Chargers. Really good game. Um, Chargers won by. It was a pretty good game. I don't know if you watched it, but
I didn't watch it.
The Chargers are just so up and down for me. It's hard to tell. They look good, then they can look bad.
Yeah, I mean they had a good comeback in that Broncos game because I think the Broncos were up by like a good little bit, and then they just, they willed their way to a win.
Um, Obviously we had the injury with Tank Dell. That's probably the biggest thing. They've pretty much said he's going to miss all of next season too.
Yeah, that's tough.
So that sucks. I don't know if you've seen that, but they said it's. I mean, it's a bad injury at the end of the year, so it's probably going to take him a long time to. So we
Recover
probably
from
won't
that.
see him for a while.
Yeah,
But, Chiefs are playing really good. Um, they played pretty much kind of played back to back, to be honest, and blew out both teams.
they're
So,
peaking at the right time.
yeah. I forgot that Hollywood Brown came back. I forgot all about him.
Me too.
And so he's back. Yeah. I mean, the Ravens, again, are playing really good football right now. They blew out the Texans and the Steelers back to back.
Yeah.
So
Held the Texans to two
um
points, but
yeah. Um Obviously Michael Penix got his first start. What do you think about that? How do you think he did? I mean, it's his first game, it's take it with a grain of salt, but
I mean, the biggest thing is they won, so that's first and foremost. He got
you
the
could definitely
W. I
see
mean,
like you could definitely see the spark he brought to the Falcons.
yeah, yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, I think of course, the more reps he gets, he's gonna continue to get better. I mean, first from that first game, what I saw is that the offense looked a lot better with him in there, but we'll just have to see because I mean, they did play the Giants, so
So what happens with Kirk?
um. I mean, I don't.
I mean, they
From what
got
I've
they got to pay
seen,
him like $80 million. So
they're willing to do that because they're talking about releasing him before uh his contract, like I guess his bonus or whatever kicks in.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh no,
I
it's
guess
before his guarantee kicks in. That's what it was. They want to release
yeah,
him before the guarantee kicks in.
yeah. Which they have to pay him $80 million anyway. That's just what they signed.
Yeah. So
Um. So yeah, but like you said, they played the Giants. The Giants are terrible. The Lions obviously blew out the Bears. The Bengals blew out the Browns. I'll tell you a game that was pretty good. That Commanders Eagles game. The
yeah,
Commanders turned the ball over 5 times, and the Commanders came back and beat them.
I mean, but it kind of does still show you that the Commanders need to be better because Jalen Hurts got hurt and they still almost lost to their backup.
Yeah,
So,
it's not Jaden Daniels' fault though. He threw 5 touchdowns.
well, I know that. I mean, like I told you all season, offensively, I feel like they are where they need to be with him. They just really needed to focus on their consistency week to week. But defensively, they just have to continue to
Yeah,
get better.
yeah. But then again, Philly's supposed to have a good defense. They let Jaden Daniels throw for 5 touchdowns, so that's on them.
Yeah, but I mean, again, when you facing a high power offense, I mean, it's gonna be tough to stop them every single drive. I mean,
Because the Commanders were getting blown out, and then they came back and scored 20 points in the fourth quarter.
well, I mean, I guess the defense did do what they were supposed to do if they helped a comeback victory. But I mean, again, you take that with a grain of salt. Jalen Hurts ended up with it in concussion protocol, so he didn't even get to play the rest of the game out.
Yeah, I feel like for them, I just wouldn't play. I wouldn't play Hurts the rest of the year. There's no point. Save him for the playoffs. You don't need him getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much. I'm pretty sure they're locked in at the 3 spot since Detroit and the Vikings are tied for first place.
Well, if they lose the next 2 games, I think the Commanders would jump into that spot. But I'm not really sure how the whole NFL playoffs. I know it's weird because there's just so many. The NFC
The divisions
is
and stuff.
tough. The Cardinals, I don't know what their problem is. I think you got to move on from Kyler Murray. It's him. I don't know. He's not a franchise quarterback.
I mean, I don't.
They were talking all that trash about how the Panthers were trash and how they sucked and they got beat. But
Say,
I
man,
don't think
Bryce Young.
they're going to sign Kyler Murray next year. I think they move on. I've seen a lot of people saying he's going to get traded draft night.
Bryce Young getting benched was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah.
Because he's been, I wouldn't exactly say on another level, but he's pretty much showing you why he got drafted number 1 overall since he got
I mean, he's playing a lot better not with kind of nobodies, to be honest.
So,
the Bills struggled. They looked terrible.
yeah, I mean early on, but they made their adjustments and they held the Patriots to just 14 points. So I mean they kind of did what they were supposed to do.
They gave up 21. They kicked the game winning. They scored to beat them.
No, they did. I promise you, I remember.
It was 24-21. I'm looking at it.
I don't think that is the.
I think because they didn't score. They only scored in the fourth quarter, and then they gave up 24 unanswered. Because it was, I don't know. The Bills are got to clean it up because that was a bad game for them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Patriots really more than likely made it a game. Like I guess later because they scored. So the Buffalo scored a touchdown with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter and made it 24-14. And the Patriots didn't score again for 9 full minutes. So obviously their defense did what they were supposed to do if the Patriots couldn't score for 9 full minutes. I mean, that's what I was trying to say. Like, just because the score showed they only won by 3 doesn't mean that it was that close of a game for them. So, like I said, they kind of did what they were supposed to do. They got rattled a little early. Patriots went up 14-0, but then they forced some mistakes. They scored like they were supposed to, and they came out with a win. So Buffalo's a dangerous football team. I'll just say that.
The 49ers are in shambles. They are atrocious. Injuries, whatever, however you want to put it. A lot of people are starting to hit the panic button. And I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to be their coach. I think somebody's going to offer him something he can't refuse, to be honest.
They could. I mean, it's a lot of positions.
And they're probably going to have to give Brock Purdy $60 million. So I think that's a discussion that you're going to have to make. You know, if you do that, you got to let a lot of your team go.
Yeah, but some of those guys need to go, though. Like Debo, you could trade Debo.
Yeah. And then the Cowboys if they wouldn't have had, a lot of injuries, they might have been a playoff team because they're kind of still winning games, but they're eliminated now.
I don't know about that one because they had a fully healthy football team almost, I guess, a majority of the year until Dak got hurt. But even when Dak got hurt, they really weren't that great.
So Cooper Rush is better than Dak?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Dak
He's
Prescott
playing
wasn't
like,
having. He just wasn't having the greatest year.
and then the Saints got shut out. First time this season that somebody didn't score a touchdown, and it was the Saints. They looked terrible.
Yeah, Saints just.
You don't really
I
see
don't
a
know.
whole lot of shutouts in NFL. They score at least will kick a field goal or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
No, you
we
don't.
had the games on Christmas. We had the Chiefs and the Steelers and the Ravens and the Texans, both blowouts. It's like you said earlier, the Chiefs are getting good when it matters the most. It doesn't matter how bad they're playing. They're 15-1, number one seed, home field advantage, first round bye. So,
Yeah,
but they
it's
still
not.
got to play some pretty good teams. But it's like I told you, to be the best, to go to the Super Bowl, you're going to have to get through the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's first and foremost.
That's only happened once. That's only happened once in Patrick Mahomes' career that he's been stopped one time. He got beat in the Super Bowl, but
Well,
he's only
actually,
lost in the
it's
playoffs once.
that's wrong. He's lost in the playoffs. I think I want to say twice. Should be twice. Because you got to think he lost to Tom Brady before Tom Brady retired. Because they had that game was crazy.
Yeah,
That Patriots and Chiefs game. That game was crazy. But Patriots ended up winning. I
yeah,
think
he's only
in
been beat by
OT.
two people, and that was
Yeah,
Brady and Joe Burrow.
exactly. So I mean, it kind of just goes to show you he's uh, he's somebody to be reckoned with, basically. Um,
So obviously, take the Ravens game. The Texans are banged up; they don't even have an offense. C.J. Stroud's been playing god awful. I don't know what his problem is.
there's a lot of things. I mean, it's a lot of reasons why his numbers look the way they do this season. I mean, for one, a lot of times some QBs hit that sophomore slump, which I mean you could attribute to that. I mean, they said his offensive line hasn't been great this season. You got
Yeah,
to
he's
think
the most sacked quarterback this year. I seen that.
the
He's
wide
been getting
receiver
killed.
room has been shuffling with injuries and stuff. You lost Nico Collins for like 4 or 5 games. Obviously, that's going to have an effect with him being your leading receiver. So it's a lot. I think it's a lot that attributed to the Texans having and they're still doing good though. It's not like they're terrible.
I'm about to say they probably won't make the playoff. They might, but they'll get blown out first game because they just can't score any points. So we can just go ahead and jump straight into the predictions. Thursday night we got the Seahawks and the Bears. Seahawks should be able to handle the Bears fairly easy. Um,
The Bears might surprise you. You never know. You really never know with the Bears. I mean, sometimes they come out looking like,
man, they haven't won a game in forever. They haven't won a game since October.
well, I'll just say this. You really can't put it all on Caleb Williams. I'll just say that. You can't put it all on.
Well, he was supposed to be your savior.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a rookie quarterback. You can't just assume that he's going to come in and dominate, especially
Well,
when,
that's what they were assuming. And look
well,
at you. You're
it
four and
don't
11. Trash.
it don't always work out like that. I mean,
Yeah, I
Bryce Young's
mean,
first season, they didn't win a game. I don't think. Maybe one or two.
trash. It's not
So
always, yeah, I don't know. But the Seahawks should be able to win that one fairly easy. I don't even know if Caleb Williams and them I don't even know if he's going to play. There's no point.
honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, y'all already eliminated. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think the
so,
Seahawks probably win that one just because they're still in the hunt and they need to play their guys so they can get into the playoffs. So yeah,
yeah.
give me Seahawks too.
Um, the Bengals and the Broncos, the Bengals got to keep winning. This is the big game for the Bengals right here. They have to win the next two games for them to make the playoffs, and I think they need the Chiefs to beat the Broncos at the end of the year or the
I
last
hate
game,
that.
however you want to put it.
I hate that for them because the Broncos are going to play their starters and the Chiefs are not. They're probably going to destroy them.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how that works. I don't know if the Bengals win out if they get to go.
Well, no, because they
Because
said if the Chiefs are supposed to beat the Broncos, then
we'll see. I've seen something else that they needed the Colts to lose and the Dolphins to lose, which they already have. So the Bengals just need to win out. I don't know. Well, I think they need to win out and a couple other things. I don't know. The NFL is weird. Anything can happen. I don't know how all that works.
you should just go
But
check it out again, offset, because they update that stuff a lot of times.
yeah,
So
I have no idea. A lot of different things can happen with the NFL. Teams lose and stuff like that. But that's a big game for the Bengals. I'm going to roll with the Bengals there. They have to win.
who do they play again?
So the Broncos.
Nah, give me the Broncos. Defense is too good.
So I'm going to roll with the Bengals. They got to win.
So give me your unbiased answer because I know you want the
I'm
Bengals to
picking
do
the
that.
Bengals. Their offense is just very explosive right now. They've been
I don't know,
playing
man. The
really good.
Broncos defense is solid though. They're gonna have a tough time with them.
I mean, they've scored 30 on everybody that they played.
That's true. I mean, it could be a shootout, so we'll see.
So yeah, it's the Bengals defense that worries me a little bit, but I'm gonna roll with what should be the MVP, but he won't get it because their team's terrible.
I guess that's fair.
So that's my that's. You think if they make a run, you say they make the playoffs, you got to you consider Joe Burrow for the MVP?
Honestly, I think he should win it regardless of the record. I mean, I get it. Realistically, in the NFL, the MVP is a team award because if your team is really good and you have the numbers, then that means you are in consideration for it. But think about it. If Joe Burrow was not on that football team, they probably win maybe 2 games.
Yeah, they'd be trash. Yeah, I mean this
He
he's thrown for
probably,
4,300 yards and 40 touchdowns.
yeah, he's easily the most valuable player to his team. I'd say across the whole league this season. He just doesn't play defense, so you can't do anything about that. So is
Yeah,
that fair? Obviously not, but that's just the way this award stuff works. I mean, you're gonna get you're gonna give it to the guy with the best stats, whose team has the best record.
yeah. I mean then the Bills play the Jets. I mean honestly, the Bills may sit their starters. I don't know. I mean
Uh,
they're not playing for the number one seed now. I
yeah,
think they need to win one more game
they'll
because
probably rest their people.
what's Baltimore's record?
They got like five
Yeah, they're
losses.
11-5. Yeah,
Yeah, so they're nowhere near them. So honestly, if they really wanted to, they could sit there. They'll probably wait till the last week to sit their starters. They'll probably play them
they'll
next week.
blow out the Jets. So they'll probably bench. They'll probably put them on the bench early in that game.
I
They
would
should be
assume
able to
so.
blow out the Jets. I'm gonna roll with the Bills there. They should be able to blow them out.
Yeah, same here. I'm gonna go
A
Bills.
trap game for Philly is going to be the Dallas game.
I don't think so.
I mean, Dallas's defense, they're back healthy now. So they just got healthy in the wrong point of the season. Like it's too late now.
I
But their
just
defense
don't.
is playing really good now.
I don't see them challenging a lot of guys with Cooper Rush though. I just don't think he can.
I mean they beat the Bucks.
Yeah, but the Bucks have been up and down all season though. Their record will tell you that.
Yeah, injuries too. I guess however you want. I won't make excuses, but yeah,
Yeah,
still
I
beat
mean
them though.
it's the same thing. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it an excuse. I mean, he was Baker Mayfield was missing his top 2 targets for like what, a quarter of the season. He lost Godwin for the entire season. He tore his ACL. So
Do you
or
think Mike
whatever.
Evans passes 1,000 yards?
But where's he at right now?
818.
2 games left. If he gets 100 yards a game, yeah, he could do it. Or if he just has a monster game and then
I mean, they
whatever.
play the Panthers Sunday. So yeah, he's
Well,
what 100 and almost 200 yards. Yeah, give or take 180. So yeah, I think he can do it.
I think it's possible.
The Viking, the Vikings and the Panther, the Vikings and the Packers. That was a tough one for me to spit out.
I think that'll be a really good
I think
game
that
right
would be a
there.
good game. Yeah.
I
Um.
think I'm gonna probably still roll Vikings though. I just think, um, I mean, the way they've been playing, especially here, recently. I mean, Sam Darnold's he's back in that mode.
Yeah, but I say he's kind of locked back in. They're getting Justin Jefferson the ball more. Yeah, I'm gonna roll Vikings there too. Like again, they got to win.
Yeah, they do.
They got to win. Um, Falcons Vikings. I mean Falcons Commanders. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Falcons
Again,
and the Falcons and the Commanders. This is a big game for
both
both teams,
sides.
to be honest.
Yeah,
We're gonna see how good Michael Penix is in this game. I'm gonna roll with the Commanders. I feel like this is a big game for them. They need to show that they can beat. I mean, they've shown that they can beat teams. They just got to play a full 4 quarters of football where they can just because you got to play defense. Because once you get into the playoffs, the Commanders are going to see the Lions, the Vikings, the Packers.
absolutely.
They're going
Um,
to be seeing some very good teams. So
yeah, no, I think I'm gonna go with the Commanders too, but only because I mean it's Michael Penix is it's just his second start this year. Um, I think he can be really great. I just think for a second start and you got to face a team like the Commanders, it just depends on
yeah,
how their defense plays. So we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, for sure. The Lions, they should, and then we wrap it up with the Lions and 49ers, which the 49ers are eliminated, so they're not playing for anything. So
Hey,
I would
might as well
expect
just.
I would expect them to probably blow out the 49ers, to be honest.
I was gonna say if I was the 49ers, I'd just rest my starters. I mean, you're not really playing for anything at this point.
So how does that work? Can you do that?
I'm pretty sure you can, but I think some of those guys, a lot of times towards the end of the season, if you're close to like
Yeah,
bonus
certain
money,
incentives, yeah.
yeah, then they probably let you play. I think. I'm
So,
not too sure how that whole thing works.
well, yeah, I'm sure it works like that. Certain incentives and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I expect them to blow out the 49ers. That game probably won't even be close. Shouldn't be anyway. But like again, the Lions got to win, so they gotta figure it out. So even if they can't struggle, I mean the 49ers are banged up, so they should be able to handle them fairly easy. I would expect the Lions to probably start sitting a bunch of their players because they're banged up on. I wouldn't say both sides of the ball, but their defense is
Mainly,
down bad.
yeah, mainly defense. That's where all they people are hurt.
So
Offensively, they really only missing David Montgomery, maybe like an offensive lineman or two.
so, but yeah, I mean that's all I got as far as predictions and our recap. So,
Yeah.
my question for you: if the Chiefs three-peat, is that the greatest? Does that put Mahomes in the greatest of all time?
Mm, in the greatest of all time, him being the greatest of all time, no. But does that mean he's like top three? I probably put him top three just off a three-peat. Yeah. But it's hard to say that super early because you got to think he still has at least 10 more years of football left. We don't know what those next 10 years of football are going to look like. Travis Kelsey's going to be gone. That team's going to look completely different.
Yeah, I
What's his
think
health
after
going to look
this
like?
year, that Chiefs team is going to look a whole lot different. I could see some big retirements coming this year if they three-peat. Why wouldn't you? It's never been done before. You go out. you made history. You can retire
You
on a history-making team.
you want Travis Kelce to retire so bad.
I think he's going to. I've said it from the beginning. You can tell that he's just not the same.
Maybe it's just an off year. I don't really see him.
I mean, well, you got to think he's old.
He's
He's
not
had
that
a
old though.
lot of wear. He just broke Tony Gonzalez's record.
I mean, yeah, but
And then, I mean, he's arguably the best tight end, the greatest of all time. So, I mean,
no
you
disrespect to
three-peat,
Travis Kelce.
you
No disrespect to
three-peat,
Travis Kelce,
you
but
broke all these records. Yeah, go
Gronk
out
is
on
the
top.
greatest.
I mean, your girlfriend's the most famous woman in the world, almost.
Gronk is the greatest tight end of all time.
Nah, well, maybe.
That probably sounds biased, but I'm giving it to you from a standpoint of, you know, accolades. Greatest of all time normally attributes to accolades. So, and he got all
So we'll
those. He
see.
checked all
I,
the
I think
boxes.
I think we're gonna see if they win. I think you'll see a lot of retirement. I mean, why wouldn't you? You go out on the top, something that's never
Good.
been done before, and three-peating.
You could. I mean, three-peat is that it would be pretty dope as an accomplishment. You'd be the only team ever to do something like that. And
So that's
but
the
like I said, it's the longevity part of it because I would consider them a dynasty, but and again, I'm not trying to sound biased because I'm a Patriots fan, but they probably have the greatest QB of all time. I'll say one of the greatest dynasties of all time. I won't say they're the best,
yeah. Because this
but
will be what if they win. This will be what 4.
yeah, that'll be four for Mr. Mahomes.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think too. I mean, a lot of his
Some
stuff
people,
came like,
some people that they argue are the greatest of all time don't even have one Super Bowl.
yeah. I mean, he's not even like I said, he's not even 30 yet. He's 29. In good health, so it's
What
like
what
I
if
think it's
what if he retired?
just don't.
What if
I
what if what if him and Kelsey rode out in this rode out? I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's really not.
what would Patrick Mahomes retire for at 30 years old? And you're a $500 million quarterback. Of
You're
course,
already
he's
the
not
GOAT.
going to do that. No, he's not.
If they three-peat, he'll be the GOAT. You'll never be able to watch football again
Nah,
without them saying that.
of course they're going to say that, but I don't care what they say. Nah, he's no. A three-peat is cool, but I mean, like I said, it's the entire body of work. At the end of his career, let's say he gets the three-peat and he doesn't get a Super Bowl
I
ever
mean,
again.
at this pace, he's going to have 10 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, what if he doesn't get any Super Bowls ever again after this?
Well, he did something nobody else did. Three-peat
Yeah, that's
with
cool.
a
But you
with a
got four
very
rings, you got all pros, you got some MVPs. Does that make you the
that's
greatest of all time? Probably not.
yeah. I mean, he could probably retire after this year and be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes, that I'll give you that. Yeah, he for sure could do that.
But you never know. I'm not saying he is, but just say, you know, hey, I'm done. I want to spend time with my family because I'm about to say they've been pumping out kids left and right.
Yeah. What was he on
His
baby number 3?
Yeah, his wife is expecting a baby any day now, I think.
So, I mean, yeah.
Because that was like he said it in his press conference. Like that's why they wanted the first round bye so bad. Because
Yeah, I
now
seen
he
it.
can watch, get to spend time with doing that.
Exactly.
But you never know. Crazy things happen when you win the Super Bowl. He ain't gonna retire. Why would you? I mean, you're in the prime of your. But we've seen it before. We've seen it. We've seen people retire early into their prime.
Yeah, I mean, obviously different situations though. I mean, he's a quarterback at the peak of his health basically, and you are the richest, basically richest. I mean, he's $500 million quarterback. Um,
So what do you think? So let's play this game. Do you think he could do this anywhere else? a lot of people are saying, could he do it anywhere else? And that's hard to sit here and speculate because we don't know. But do you
Uh,
think could you plug him into certain situations? And do you think he'd win a Super Bowl? Obviously, you can't say, well, what about the Panthers? No, they don't have enough. But
I'd
could you plug him
say
into? Let's put him on a mediocre. Let's put him on could you put him in Seattle and they win a Super Bowl?
yes. I mean,
I'm trying to think
you
of other teams.
you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I mean, basically, it depends on the organization and the team situation. So if it's a good organization, I think yes, because even if they don't have it all together, I mean, he instantly upgrades that team, and if they got a halfway decent defense, they could win a Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes. So like Seattle, that's a perfect
Let's
fit.
rewind back to 2017.
You're about to
And
ask if the Bears took.
if the Bears took Mahomes, would they be sitting in the situation that the Chiefs are in right now?
I
Do you
think
think he'd
so.
have 4 Super Bowls?
I don't think he'd have four. I think he had like two because at that point the Bears had a really solid defense and their offense was actually
Pretty decent.
Mitch Trubisky didn't have terrible seasons with the Bears. He had like 2 or 3 really good seasons. And if you put Patrick Mahomes in that offense, I think they probably win at least 2 Super Bowls. But it's hard to say because I mean it's the AFC and not the NFC. So I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd probably say yes, but that's why I said two and not four because, I mean, obviously you have different kinds of roster movements and stuff like that.
Yeah, you still have to beat the Patriots,
Exactly. So,
and Brady was still there, and the Eagles. So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean it. I don't like when people play that game. I was just curious to see what your thoughts were. I don't like to sit there and speculate. Well, what if? I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, to be honest.
I mean, it's pretty cool we should do an episode like that.
Yeah, that's you took the words right out of my mouth. I'd like to. I think we could do an episode on that. On the what ifs.
Yeah, just go
But
look
yeah,
back
we
at some
won't
NFL
spiral
histories.
into. Yeah, we won't spiral into that. Yeah, I mean, next week will be the end of regular season, so we'll get to actually deep dive into playoff teams. Um, I don't know if you want to talk about the Pro Bowl. Probably not, because it's kind of
Nah, I could care less.
I'm about to say that it's kind of irrelevant now. Yeah, it's cool to make the Pro Bowl, but
It's been irrelevant for a while. Like when they took away the actual football game, that
I'm
just
about to say
pretty much
now it's
killed off
just
the
like
Pro Bowl.
now it's not even a game. It's just like the competitions. They don't even play anymore because this
The
year it's like
NBA
flag football or whatever.
the NBA is basically it's been flag football for a while now, but the NBA is doing the same thing where they're changing the All-Star game format, so they're breaking them up into like teams. It's just I'll probably check it out, see how it goes, and then if they stick with that format, I just won't watch it anymore because traditionally All-Star game is East versus West, and uh the past few years they just been letting the top two players from the East and West pick teams, yada yada yada, whatever. And now they're at the point to where they just feel like it's not enough competitiveness, so they're just changing the entire format. Which obviously you're going to lose viewership because of that, because everybody's used to a normal. They'll probably have some people check it out just to see what it's like, and they tell the next person. But I think those types of events like the Pro Bowl, All-Star game type stuff, eventually it's going to die off because nobody's really going to be interested in it like that anymore. But
Yeah, and
that's my little rant for this episode.
it's like you said that, and it's just like bowl games in college. I mean, they're irrelevant. Ain't nobody gonna watch that. People opt out the transfer portal.
Yep,
I'll
same
probably
thing.
watch a little bit of the LSU game just because I kind of do want to see what we look like, but it's hard to tell because people are opting out and transferring and not playing and blah blah blah. But yeah, that's all I got for this episode anyway.
All right, well, that's pretty much it for here. Well, that's pretty much it for us here on the TNT show. As always, just showing appreciation as much as we can. Just thanks everybody for listening in, hanging out with us when we, talk and rant about football and whatnot and other sports when we toss them in there. Just looking forward to this year coming up and, some of the different things that we want to try to do. So,
When does our reflection episode come out, or has it already?
no, it comes out on the 30th.
Okay, so yeah, that comes out Monday. I have a plan, but we'll talk about it offset. But yeah, just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, big thanks for 2025. So stick with us. And we appreciate everybody that listens in and week out.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll catch y'all in the next episode.